Hello everyone, Gorn here. It's been a while since I uploaded a video, but I actually have quite a few just random drafts that I've made over the past months, and this is one that I actually plan to upload. I've gained a lot of opinions on Season 16, and I want to join the cesspool of people who make their commentary on Season 16. This is extremely biased to my own view, but I actually think that I'll provide something different than what you might usually hear. Because from what I've seen, nobody's really voicing the perspective that I have. And this comes from someone who is a gold Zenyatta one trick, a silver Doomfist one trick, and doesn't play damage in ranked. But Freya is my new damage main. I've kind of been waiting on Blizzard to give me my new damage main. The past 3 damage heroes that they released were just all tests to me. Like, I was just waiting on the one that would become my main, because I never really felt like any of the damage heroes kind of really did it for me in the same way that Doomfist and Zenyatta did in their roles. But Freya does that. It's something about the gameplay loop. I think most of it is the take aim shots. I think that's most of it. But anyway, Season 16 has been a bit of a rocky start for me. A lot of people were hyped around Stadium. And I'm not. I'm still not hyped around Stadium. I'm a little more hyped than I was, but I'm not fully hyped yet. And in the beginning, I actually kind of hated it, to be honest. As somebody who tries to get as many games in as possible so that I can get the highest battle pass tier, I care about getting my weeklies in. Stadium is the most time-consuming game mode, most slow pace, most casual, like, it's like the more you engage with it, the less you get out of it. And that's kind of what I've had to, I've had to rewire the way I play Overwatch in order to like playing Stadium. And I'd say that's a sign that a game mode wasn't for me. And to be honest, it wasn't. But now, I can actually see how it's good. I can see what it actually is. That makes it a good game mode. I'd say they definitely silenced the vocal minority that wanted something that was more casual. I'm pretty sure the majority of Overwatch players are actually quite content with the way the main game is right now. But to be fair, 50% of games played were Stadium queue for the first week that it was out. So it was clearly pretty successful. And I'm glad. And I'm glad that the people instantly had fun with it. Even the competitive streamers had fun with it. And that's because they were trying to have fun. They were just kind of, well, not trying. They weren't trying. They were just going in there and doing wacky stuff. For me, I was trying to play the heroes that I knew how to play. And my first mistake was doing stuff that I knew how to do. That was my first mistake. So, reason why is because, like I said earlier, it feels like the more engaged you get with it, the less you get out of it. And playing a hero that you know how to play makes you inherently more engaged. You know the tech that goes into that hero. Like, as a Doomfist main, with the new perk tree we've got, I'm focused on, like, getting a punch cooldown reset loop going with both of my, like, my charge block and my slam perk, the major perk that lets you get an empowered fist off of hitting 3 people with it. You can punch, power up with a block, punch again, slam, punch again, and then you wait another 4 seconds, or by that time, your block cooldown might be off. Or you can just punch again and block, and then you start the cycle over again. That's the kind of stuff I think about. That makes me really engaged. And the main game rewards you for being engaged, but Stadium doesn't really do anything with that. It doesn't really matter how like disassociated or engaged you are with the game. And that's what's really nice about Stadium. It's perfect for the people who don't want to pay attention. It's perfect for the people who don't really want to spend that much brain power on the game. They can just pick the wackiest loadouts. The main thing that affects your gameplay is the power loadout, like the power perks that you select, or the really powerful perks that you select, like the 10,000 point, like on Ana, for example. The thing that influenced it the most for me was that sleep perk where you can increase the collision box by 500%. That in tandem with every sleep dart gets you 25 health. I think it might have been 10. I don't know. Precise numbers are kind of crazy to remember when you have so many perks. But today, I finally learned why I hadn't been liking Stadium and how to like it as someone who hates the wait time in between rounds, hates that there's 4 rounds minimum that a team has to win in order to finish a match, hates how there's like 60 seconds at the start to pick your character. I did learn one perk of that. It means that I get to look at all my skins and really spend time thinking on which one I want to wear. That's it. I hate how much time there is for selecting the armory, or at least I used to, and now I can see how I wasn't really looking for new things in the armory. I was just kind of finding the one that was the best and picking it instead of going with what I thought would be fun. Basically, I was playing it like the main game. I was playing it competitively when I should have been playing it casually in a wacky way. And the way I started doing that was with a Reinhardt perk loadout. I did it with a Reaper match. This one time I had 0 deaths and about 32 kills. His perks are insane. There was this one Reaper in my game while I was playing Lucio, which Lucio has some really fun stuff. That perk where you can get a mini beat that gives you 80% less overhealth. It's just 20% beat every 8 seconds. That is dopamine. Most Overwatch players are used to getting their ult every like 5 minutes. And now you can just have that every 8 seconds. It's such pure dopamine, man. Extreme stimulation, at least to me. So that was extremely fun. And I can see why Lucio players are really liking Stadium. It's fun. It's really fun. The stuff you get in there is really nice. One of the things that disincentivized me from playing Stadium is that it doesn't have any amendments in it. And Freya isn't even in there yet. Doomfist isn't in there, Zenyatta isn't in there, Ramattra isn't in there, Baptiste isn't in there. I don't think Lifeweaver is in there. Yeah, nah, he isn't. I don't think so. He might be. If he is, that was a mistake, and I should be playing Lifeweaver in those. But the main thing I learned is that you actually want to play characters that are new to you. If you are a one-trick, in Stadium I recommend playing characters that you've never played before, or you barely play. Because then you are learning how to play the character well. Well, not really. You're more like, you're given like a playground to play that character. Despite Stadium being considered a competitive mode, I'd say I rank it below quick play in how competitive it is. If anything, quick play should be counted as competitive mode at this point. Stadium should be unranked. You don't even have MMR in there. It really doesn't make sense. But yeah, Stadium is a success, I would say. It took me a bit to realize it, but I just had to get myself out of the mindset of the regular game and get it into the mindset of someone who is the audience that Stadium was catered to. I'm just glad that they made it only 10 games a week, because honestly, I think that's how much I can handle. 2 games a day takes up like a full hour. And that feels extremely draining. Like I do 2 games. If I decide to do Stadium, I play 2 games and then I get off. If I decide to play competitive or unranked, I get like 20 games in. It's just more beneficial. I think honestly, I should probably play a ton of unranked or competitive and then finish it off with a Stadium game. It is getting more fun, it's getting more manageable. And I'm also starting to win games more because I'm more focused on the perks themselves than how well I'm playing my character. Now to get to the thing that I actually wanted to talk about, or the most controversial one I think. As a Silver Doomfist player, I get kind of paired with the teams that don't know how to contest payload, nor do they know how to push it. They don't know how to stay with their tank. Even if I'm kind of stalling, like even if I'm staying on the same position, if I'm pushing the payload, they might be too ahead, they might be way too behind. Silver rank, what do you expect? And the main thing that's been confusing me is the hero bans. I expected the competitive player base to be a bit more educated on what's an actual problem instead of what's just a problem for them. Like, instead of picking problems that are actually, like, that actually matter for their hero, like a tank picking Cassidy on a Orisa because that's a CC combo. Ana can sleep you, Cassidy can flashbang you, Orisa can javelin you. That's a bunch of CC, that's all projectile CC that is in your face and that you cannot avoid. Stuff like Roadhog, you can bait the hook, you can destroy the pigpen, you can avoid Rhine Charge, you can avoid Sigma Rock, but it's the unavoidable CC that you want to ban. Stuff like that. Arguably, you can avoid Cassidy more, but the main ones on that are Orisa and Ana. If they have consistent aim with it, you're kind of screwed. But the main thing that's been confusing me is that I'm seeing consistent bans on Sombra. Well, that's not really confusing. It's just more confusing that they would waste a ban on Sombra rather than learning how to play against her. I'd say this could lead to a bit of rankflation. If you think about it, if people just continue banning the heroes that they don't know how to play against, if they continue up the ranks like that, like they get to ban the heroes that they don't like to play against. And the general player base doesn't like to play against Sombra. It doesn't like to play against Mei, or Orisa, or Doomfist, I guess. I didn't think about how much of a coin flip Doomfist can be, and I forgot about that, but I don't know. I felt like there were bigger problems than a coin flip hero. I felt like there were bigger problems. Heroes that are consistent problems, not just coin flips. Like, not just not knowing if it's going to be a problem or not. Heroes that are consistently going to be a problem, like Roadhog, or Orisa, or Malga. Problem tanks. Number damage tanks. Heroes like Kiriko, Ana, Judo. Like, good healers, consistently good healers. Stuff like that is what I expected. But no. the the way this is going to cause inflation, to me, is because people are not fighting the heroes that they previously would have to get used to, or they just lose games and they don't go up in their rank because they don't learn how to fight against the hero. I think that's good. Good. Stay in silver if you can't learn to fight against Sombra. If you can't fight a Sombra, you don't belong in gold. You belong in bronze. You're genuinely at the start of the game. But bans allows people to get rid of the heroes that they don't know how to fight against. There's genuinely not a lot of heroes in the game right now that are unfightable and cannot be beaten. In fact, right now, perks are making counter swapping an even bigger downside. We already had a nerf on the ultimate percentage, but now we have a nerf on the perks. Because perks matter more for some heroes than they do for others. So sometimes you can be losing more by swapping when you have perks, instead of keeping those perks and keeping your ultimate charge and just sticking with the hero you picked. To be genuine, counter swapping was never effective in the first place. The only reason we think it's effective is because everybody participates in it, and people still participate in it. Counter swapping is only effective because people aren't out of the mindset yet. They aren't willing to learn how to fight against their counters. They are just countering counters. And they're just stuck in that loop instead of learning how to play the characters they like to play against their counters. I was with Awkward from the start. He wasn't quite right that there was no counters. There are technically counters, but not in the way that they word it. There's just characters that exploit weaknesses really well, compared to others, specific to your character. That does not mean that you should stop playing your character against them. That means that you should learn how to play your character against them. This doesn't mean you should swap off. This means that you should learn how to fight. And if people are allowed to avoid what they should adapt to, then that means that people will not be punished for the mistakes they made in those matchups. And they will rank up. They will win the matches where they don't have their counters. Or maybe they won't, actually. That would be a really nice thing. That would be a really nice ending. If they ban all the heroes that they don't want to fight against and they still lose, that would be fucking poetry right there. I would love that. But unfortunately, I think there are some actually good players that are under the veil of counter swapping. They're not quite out of it yet, and hero bans are only going to drive people like that deeper into that. Marvel Rivals was actually constructive with their hero bans though, because their community informs them on what's actually a problem. Our community just has complaints. So, right now, every rank has its own group of heroes that it doesn't know how to fight, and every rank has its own set of bans that typically happen. And now, there are going to be some genuinely good players with good potential ranking up more than they probably would have if they were forced to play against the heroes that they are banning. Because if they were, then they would be having to lose games. They would have to learn lessons from those lost games. But instead, they are winning games. This isn't happening on a drastic scale. At least, not yet. Not that we can see. I think it is happening on a small scale. I think the few good players, the people who are just kind of naturally cracked, people with like good mechanical skill, something that makes them able to muscle through the ranks. They are going to be set free when they should have been kept in the rank that they were at. And that is going to cause rank inflation on some scale, no matter how small. Anyway, this has been a 20-minute unscripted rant. I've tried to keep myself relatively on topic as best as I can without a script. Kind of just running on tangent after tangent. I just got myself the battle pass. I like what I'm seeing. I love the loot boxes. The loot boxes are really nice right now. The inclusion of epic loot boxes, I'm not sure about. It's nice to get a guaranteed epic loot box, but like, I don't know. Right now I'm seeing one event challenge that gave you an epic loot box and nothing else. And we also don't have the perked up event challenge anymore. So we're not getting the 18 loot boxes a week. And we're not getting... Right now we're actually only getting 3 consistently. With also 3 legendary loot boxes in the battle pass. I am currently at tier 40. And I think that's about it for me. I mean, other than that, I've been trying to learn Zarya, Lifeweaver, and Freya. And that's where I'm at right now. I might stream Overwatch 2 one day. I actually don't mind the idea of that. But right now I spend most of my time in Overwatch 2 watching my watch later while I play it. Just so I can get both of them out of the way at the same time. I also want to stream Trackmania, but same issue. So, if I stream, I'm gonna have to turn off my watch later, because it's not like I can have you guys hearing what I listen to on my YouTube feed, like, during the stream. And if I listen to that, then I'm not gonna be able to actually provide commentary. I'm gonna be listening to that instead. Anyway, this is 22 minutes long. I think we're gonna call it here. It's 4 a.m. Have a good time wherever you are. Hope you guys just have good things come to you. And I hope that season 16 just keeps getting better. Hopefully season 17 is even better. Aqua is looking nice. That's it for my Overwatch 2 commentary rant. See you guys later. Peace.